All right, we are back for another Algebra 1 state test review video. Today we're talking about standard F.LE.1. Let's jump right in. Question 1 from the Spring 2017 OST. Some values for a function are shown in the table. Which statement best describes the function? Is it A, it is linear because f of x increases by a constant amount compared to x. B, it is linear because f of x increases by a constant percentage compared to x. C, it is not linear because f of x does not increase by a constant amount compared to x. Or D, it is not linear because f of x does not increase by a constant percentage compared to x. So let's talk about linear versus exponential, okay? Exponential is by percentages. This is by multiplying. Think of this in the same way as a geometric sequence. A geometric sequence goes up exponentially, okay? Linear is by a constant amount. By adding or subtracting, think of it like arithmetic sequences, okay? If you can relate linear to arithmetic and exponential to geometric, then that's a way that you can do that. Now, what best describes this function? Linear is in all of our choices, meaning that we're dealing with additive. So we're not dealing with percentages. So B and D are automatically out. So now the question becomes, is this linear? Well, let's look at the slope. Okay? The difference between these two, 0 and 25, is 25. The difference between these two, 2 and 0, is 2. The difference between these two, 25 and 50, is also 25. But the difference between these two, 3 and 2, is 1. So you'll see that it's not constant. It's not consistent. So therefore, it's not linear. In order for this to be linear, in order for this to be considered a linear function, these would have to either be the same or ratios of each other. So you could have had this be like a situation where one of these had a difference of, I don't know, 1 and 10, and the next one had a difference of 2 and 20, because those are ratios of each other. This is just multiplied by 2, this is just multiplied by 2. But because these are both 25, these would both either need to be 2 or both would need to be 1. This has a rate of change of 12.5, using the difference in y over the difference in x. This has a rate of change of 25. The rate is not staying the same, therefore it's no good. So it's C. Which situation describes a quantity that increases by a constant percent rate? When you see the word constant, okay, there are two things you should think of. Either A, a number with no variable, but that's not the context of this question. Constant means that it is happened more than once. When you think about, even some people say, oh, they're constantly getting on me, right? They're constantly doing this. They're constantly bothering me, right? That implies that it's happened more than once. So when you think of constant in the terms of rate, you have to think of more than once. Okay? They're constantly getting on my nerves. The size of one photo is 15% larger than the size of another photo. That's not happening more than once. That's just comparing two photos. The number of plants in a pond is 85% of the number from the previous year. Again, comparing 2 years, but that's not constantly happening. The population of one city is 85% greater than the population of another city. Again, comparing two cities, not constantly happening. The number of magazine subscribers each year is 15% greater than the previous year. These are the key words. Each year, meaning it's happening on more than one occasion. It's happening constantly. It's D. Question 3. What situation represents exponential growth or decay? The population of a town grows by 3% each year. The population of a town grows by 200 each year. The population of a town grows by 3% one year, then decreases by 3% the next year. The population of a town grows by 200 one year, then decreases by 200 the next year. This is or, so it needs to be constant. If it's going up, then down, this is not exponential growth or decay. This is varying. This is variation. So it comes down to, is it 3% or 200? And I said in the previous question that when you think of linear versus exponential, exponential represents percentages. So if this is exponential growth or decay, you're looking for the one that has a percentage. So it would be A. Question 4. Which situation could be represented by an exponential function, g of t, where t represents time in years? So again, we're going to just very quickly eliminate any choices that don't have percentages. 300 people each year? No. $150? No. A car decreases in value by 17% in 1 year. A house increases in value by 3% each year. So now we went back to our thing that we talked about in question 1, where exponential is percentage. Now we have to go back to what we talked about in question 2. Constant, more than once. An exponential function implies that it's happening more than once. It is constant. This only happens in 1 year. This happens every year. This would be D. That would be your answer, because it is constantly happening. So that's it for this standard. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and good luck on your test.